You want to tell what happened with you with the AI thing? What was that all about?
It was quite the interesting weekend at the county fair.
Okay.
So like everywhere I go, I carry. I carry a firearm. Every time I leave the house, I'm carrying. So, and the thing about people who conceal carry, for those of you who don't know, is we tend to know the laws regarding it really well. Because if you screw up, if you're wrong, it's like automatically a felony, right? Like a federal felony usually. So we know the laws surrounding it pretty well. So I made sure that carrying to the county fair, the public county fair on public county grounds, was legal, which there's no reason why it shouldn't be. It's literally public land at a public event. Um, Minnesota private companies can say you can't carry in here and they can make you leave. But like even that, you're not breaking the law. They're just making you leave like they can make
Yeah.
anyone leave. So it's really no big deal. Like if you carry into a mall, it's not illegal. They'll just make you leave. Right.
Yeah.
So
You're not
worse.
catching a charge for it.
Right, exactly. But this is public county land at a public event. So there's nothing they can do to anyone who wants to carry as long as here in Minnesota you have the permit. So I carried like I always do. And I had it tucked under my shirt, carried outside the waistband, tucked under the shirt, like usual. And we were at the bounce houses, and Iggy, well, I think he fell, scuffed his knee, so he was crying. So I picked him up and held him, and as I like picked him up and held him, it caused my shirt to pull up, and I didn't
Exposed.
know that at the time, but
Yeah.
the gun was exposed. And in Minnesota, that's fine. You can carry concealed, or you can open carry, as long as you have the permit. It doesn't matter. It's legal both ways, right? So there are times and places where I open carry. Like if I'm going onto the woods, I'm not tucking it under my t-shirt. But so the gun was exposed, and I didn't realize it. I don't know how long it was exposed for, but this older boomer guy comes up and he's got his phone and he's pointing at his phone. He goes, you can't have that here. I'm like, can't have what here? He's like, you can't have your gun here. I look down. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, I didn't know it was showing, but no, it is legal for me to have here. He goes, no, it's not. It says right here that the county doesn't allow guns at the fair. And I'm like, I looked at it, and what he had done is he Googled. I didn't see what phrase he had Googled, but he Googled something, and it. You know how now when you Google something, it pops up with an AI summary it generates
Yeah.
for you instead of giving you the websites. The AI summary that it generated says that the county we're in doesn't allow firearms at the county fair. And I looked at it, I'm like, sir, that's the AI summary is wrong. I looked at the laws. I even looked at the fair website. There are no official fair rules at all, even.
Yeah.
I'm like, the AI summary is wrong. He's like, AI, what are you talking about? It's right here in black and white. You can't have that here.
These
I'm
people
like,
are so nosy.
I'm like, no,
shut
sir.
up.
I'm sure that's not the law. That's the computer making it up. It's wrong. I'm like, I promise I can have it here, but no big deal. You have a good day, sir. So I took me and the kids and Hope, and we just walked to like the other side of the fair.
Mhm.
Even though the kids were playing on the bounce houses, we went to like the animal barn, literally on the other side of the fair. And about 10 minutes later, on the other side of the fair, a fair official and cop I see walking across like the field and towards us, and I'm like, oh boy,
Oh boy.
oh boy. And the fair official walks up and he's like, we know you're carrying, but and it is legal. You don't need to like leave or put it in your car or anything, but can you just hide it better? I'm like, he's like, this is there's families around. And I'm like, I know there's families around. I have mine right here. That's why I'm carrying, to
Yeah.
keep them safe. And it is hidden, even though it doesn't legally have to be. And he's like, well, we're just gonna have the officer here check your ID and make sure you're good.
Carrying
And
a permit.
the officer was thankfully, number one, a male.
Yeah.
Don't know what would have happened if it was some hyperventilating woman cop. But also number two, the cop was a game warden, which generally, if you're like out in the woods hunting, they're the last person you want to see because
Yeah.
their powers the things they can do to check to see if you're following game laws are like greater than what cops can do to see if you murdered someone. But so out in the woods is a bad thing. But like in a county fair, like I'd rather have a cop who's used to dealing with guys with guns out in the woods
Yeah.
all the time than with some, hyperventilating small town woman cop. But so he checked my ID and he's like, oh, everything looks good. You're good to go. Have fun. Have a good weekend. I got to go tell this gentleman that his phone was wrong.
What's funny is you could have gone, is this a consensual encounter, officer?
Oh my gosh.
You could have gone, this is a consensual encounter. Because if it is, I'm not required to show you my ID unless you have probable cause to think I'm committing a crime. Do you have probable cause to think I'm committing a crime? I don't want to show you my ID.
Carrying a gun was the probable cause.
Okay.
So in Minnesota, you do not have to legally inform an officer when you're carrying. Like if I get pulled over, I don't have to tell the cop that I'm carrying.
But you do out of courtesy.
It's going to depend on the situation. For instance, do you remember that Orlando Castile case?
Yeah. He
so
said
that was in St. Paul, down in the Twin Cities, while I was living down there. Matter of fact, the cop who shot him was an old high school friend of mine. I played football with the guy.
That poor guy.
Well,
that poor guy.
Anyone who knows this guy, the cop, right, knows. I mean, I love the guy. I played football with him. He's a good guy, really good guy. He was not cut out to be a cop.
Yeah.
Just in those types of stressful situations, not cut out for it. But I mean, there are times where you don't want to tell him because it's not going to help the situation.
It just adds to the tension.
Right. If there's any sort of situation where I think that is going to come up anyways, or like the cop is going to ask me to search me or anything like that. Yeah. At that point, I'm going to tell them so that they don't find a gun and wonder what the heck. But otherwise it's just going to probably cause problems. But in Minnesota, when they ask you if you're carrying,
you
have to tell them at that point. So the fact that he thought I was carrying and asked at that point, I had to provide it, which is fine. Whatever. I wasn't doing anything illegal, but
it's just so funny how nosy people are and how they have to just stick their freaking nose in everybody's business.
The confidence this guy had for Googling something. It's like, and I mean, I get it. If I saw certain people carrying a weapon, I would question whether or not they should be, right? But like, here I am holding one of my crying kids while I have two other kids in the bounce house, and I have my stroller right here, right? Like, yeah, I'm sure I'm there to shoot up the county fair with my kids in hand. Like,
it's just like there's at least the cop had some common sense and didn't go off the rails with it, but it's just it really is. It's how like you said, it's how swattings, because when somebody tries to swat you, like you're putting intense, like you're there with your kids, you caused absolutely no issue. The guy had to, like, if the guy really thought there was a problem, he would have never came up and argued with you about it,
right? Like if you really think I'm a criminal illegally carrying a gun, you think coming up to me and confronting me is the best idea?
Way to go about it. It's so
like you obviously had to think that I was not in a problem. So if I'm not a problem, why are you making it a problem? Because you're some, older boomer guy who's got to insert himself into everything.
It's just so crazy how people just have to stick their nose in everything.
So I don't know if he went to a fair official or if he called the cops, but I mean, you're absolutely right. The way he framed it could have really caused an issue. Like if he had said something like there's some argumentative guy flashing his gun at the fair. Oh, I could have been approached.
Oh, you'd have been on the ground in 2 seconds.
Exactly.
Yeah, it would have been in front of your kids.
Man.
He definitely went to the park official and pointed you out.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
He went and pointed you at that guy over there. He's carrying a gun, and it was exposed.
That means a park official followed me all the way across the fair for 10 minutes watching me.
Yeah.
Probably
just to make sure you weren't there to cause. I
do get it. Like I whatever. I got no problem with that, but people are
just so nosy.
So when I went back the next day, I carried a much smaller gun in my pocket. Well, what's funny is in the stroller, like they all were worried about the gun on my hip. In the stroller, in the backpack I was carrying, I had this thing. God didn't ask about this one.
It's just, I've just seen so many police encounters go horrifically wrong that to put cops on somebody for no reason is just crazy to me at this point. I agree. I have a totally different view of cops than I did 10, 15 years ago. I used to be a back the blue guy. Now I'm just like, you know what, man, they're human. They're just like anybody else. And a lot of times these guys, they get on a power trip and they think who the hell they are. And it just, it's like getting your ID is like crack to them. It's just crazy. It's like once they ask for your ID, it's just nuts. I've just seen so many of them do stupid. I mean, especially during COVID when they were going around shutting down people's churches and things like that. It's like these guys, man. Ugh.
It's what was nice is the cop, like he put my name down in his little notebook, right? I'm sure just in case he got a call later that day about,
yeah.
But he just looked at my two IDs, my carry permit and my ID, to make sure that they matched and had the same address, and he gave them back. He didn't run, like he could have.
He didn't run them or anything to see if you have warrants out or anything like that. Yeah.
He didn't care, and I'm sure he didn't want to deal. He's probably thinking, if he does have warrants, I don't want to deal with them while he's armed.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like he wanted to just appear as if he was doing his due diligence, which you had a good cop. That's 100%. Very good. But there are times where you get roped in with some cop who's on a power trip and his ego. If you don't answer to him the exact way you're supposed to answer, they just
they're just pissed at being tasked to be the cop at the county fair that day, right? Like,
yeah,
they could be in a bad mood and really wreck your